Welcome to Clixed Off, brought to you by Lucky Dice Cafe out of Huntsville, Alabama. Check them out at LuckyDiceCafe.com. And now for your hosts, Daniel Powell, Jason Alvey, and Tylor Speeds.
Hey everybody, welcome to Clixed Off today. This is your host Daniel Powell speaking. Just want to let everybody know Clixed Off is brought to you by TrollandToad.com, world's largest HeroClix retailer. Buy HeroClix new and old on TrollandToad.com and use coupon code CLIXEDOFF for 5% off your HeroClix order. Merchant and pre-order items do not apply. And if you like what you're hearing today on Clixed Off, check us out. Consider checking us out on patreon.com/ClixedOff. $1 and above gets entered into our monthly giveaways. $5 and above gets entered into our Discord channel for exclusive HeroClix strategy and tactics discussions. And joining me today is Jason. We get to take a road trip, Alvey.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yeah, fun time.
And Tylor, he better start seriously consider buying HeroClix Spees.
I have seriously considered it.
I don't think you're serious. I don't think the adjective of serious, I don't think we agree the level of severity of seriousness between the two of us.
I opened eBay today. Must have got to account for something.
You're closing the gap in how we define seriousness, but we probably that gap is still a little too wide.
All right, that's fair.
Especially we can talk about that here in a little bit. And Alex with the good AC, Coos.
And I am an AC, so.
Hey!
Yeah, AC with the best AC,
yeah. And joining us today from Earthbound and Down is Lewis, vying for the King of Nolans in a few days, Reyes.
Oh, and for the record, I think I buy enough clicks for myself and Tylor, so Tylor's good.
Okay, send me a Scarlet Witch.
Right. Yeah. So, and I don't want to try to one up everybody, but folks have to remember as Sam is going to Gen Con and things are in a state of flux, and I only have one Scarlet Witch, and I probably need two. But we have two Sakis, two Destroyers, two Agathas right now. What else is? We don't have two. We don't. I do have. I got another Miles coming. So, yeah. So.
Yeah. No one from Earthbound and Down is going to Gen Con except for BZ, but he's going to Judge.
Sure.
So I got Scarlet Witch. So if you need if you don't have Scarlet Witch by then, just let me know.
Okay.
Don't say that. Then Tylor will never buy one.
Yeah, don't say that. Lewis say that Tylor can't have it. Say you're going to take a picture of it, and you're going to have it next to a beer, and you're going to say, Tylor, you cannot use this. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay,
2 beers.
Sure.
2 beers.
He can say all that and then wink.
Tylor, do you have
nudge, nudge. Do I have what?
An Agatha? Or anything from Disney?
I have nothing from Disney Plus.
So do you own a Miles or a Commissioner?
I have a Miles. I have a Commissioner, which I just bought from PJ. I only have one Flash, so I'll have to get another Flash too. So I have some.
What
about 3
pieces. What about Marvella?
I think I do. I think the last time I got stuff from you, got a Marvella.
Well,
Maybe
you need to be sure because guess what? Marvella is $15 a piece now.
Woo! Good for her. She deserves it.
Yeah, she does. And so, because I looked with somebody in Discord, they were talking about buying a Marvella, and I was like, "Oh, Marvella's just a rare," and they're like, "Oh, it's fucking $15," and I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
I mean, that makes sense.
On the subject of Marvellas, what are the thoughts on running a team with double Marvella.
Pro.
Yeah.
If it makes sense.
Yeah.
I've definitely built teams with double Marvellas.
Right. So let's talk about. So I know Kuz, your team is a little bit different than Jason and Tylor's, but I'm just going to go ahead and start with the check-in with Nationals. Okay. And Lewis, this is your check-in for a couple of days before King and Nolans, because I want you to talk about maybe what you're playing and stuff too this weekend. So I'm just going to go ahead and just drop the bomb. Daniel is seriously considering not playing Thanos.
Wow.
Shocking.
Right.
Shock.
So
I'm shook right now.
Right. So it was gosh, what was the team that all played the same team?
The team that all played the same team.
That's Paris' team?
No, was it Ragnarok, or was it
I think they did.
Or was it the team out of Colorado?
No.
This is way back in the day.
I know the Clixmen multiple times when we had in-person tournaments in Texas, which we've started again. But back when we had WKOs, the Clixmen, it was not uncommon for three, four, or five of them to play the same team at an event.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Dustin built the team and everybody liked it.
Right. So I would say that we've built the team, as a team with a couple of variances that I like. So it was the team Jason won with, right? This past weekend, this past Friday. So I want to kind of talk about what we'll talk about each game element that's on the team, and we can talk about why we like it, and if you guys have other things to add in, that's fine. Because I'm serious, and I want to just, in this instance, I want to talk about what specifically those game elements do against Thanos, monsters, and and when I say monsters, I mean monsters / X-Men, and Fantastic Four.
Weird.
And
why are you looping those together?
Yeah.
Right, because monsters a lot of the time use Venom Wolverine, so does X-Men, and Jubilee.
And Venom Magneto.
Yeah, and Venom Magneto is a good one. Yeah, great point, Jason.
That's true.
So now, and then a lot of times their team is also close. So that would be the close combat elements that are really powerful that they share. And I would say in general, the range things that I want to talk about would be lumped in with the Thanos category. So like Prime Mimic taking Running Shot, RCE, Psyblast, all that kind of fun stuff, right? Would be the same.
Gladiator.
Right, Gladiator. Those things would be lumped into this sort of how the team plays against Thanos, or at least what I see is the big enough
okay.
deterrence.
Do we want to talk about the Flash thing first, then, since we're going piece by piece?
Well, let's save the Flash thing for the second segment.
Okay.
I would say, because I got so excited with the dropping the mic there that I want to talk about, and I really want to talk about. So, and the reason I invited Lewis on the show today was Lewis a couple of months ago played Miles West, and he played Glen Grove Cemetery. And it was by the skin of my teeth that I beat Lewis twice. I think it was back-to-back weeks, right, Lewis? Or maybe... Because I remember playing against two different variations of your Miles team.
Yes. For the record, you stopped me the second time. First time, it was by the skin of your teeth.
Right. Well, so... I appreciate that, but it does not feel like it was by the skin of my teeth, to be fair. So what I'm seeing is specifically the Miles team against Thanos. So at his base, right? So let's talk about the big picture. It's a +8. Various versions of Miles gets +8. And Alex, what's yours?
Mine's an 8.
Yours an 8, right? So that's a consistent +3 over Thanos, or a consistent +2. So I'm unlikely to win map with Thanos, and Glen Grove is a problem because you can get to the support too easily. So that's in general, right? So then, secondly, Miles. Miles in combination with, so the Miles has the adjacent friendly characters can use shape change, but only against a ranged attack, and when they successfully make shape change, the attacker gets, after resolutions, a web token.
Webbed gun.
Webbed gun, right? Yeah. So, which means they can't make range attacks until they power action take that off. So, Lewis, when we played, right, there was only so much offense your team had. Especially being able to get through the support and get to Thanos. Because you were playing it with Batman, the Torches, a couple of Marvellas, some Fantastic Four swap out.
Yes.
But something changed in Disney Plus. Scarlet Witch.
Yep.
Sakarian Iron Man. And I want to go ahead and just say this. Jesse Cote says, we switched, he commented that, we're switching to complaining about Sakarian Iron Man. No, I want to be clear. Daniel will never complain about a playable Iron Man. There may have been, with anything in life, there's an adjustment period, right? But I'm fully enveloped in love for the Sakarian Iron Man. So, what changed? The Scarlet Witch, Agatha, super offensive powerhouses. Saki has willpower, tons of leadership on the team. He gets to go a lot. He can pick poison. That's a big one. Poison gets through the soft support of Thanos pretty quickly. On off turns. So it makes it to where getting a webbed gun token is too much of a tempo destroyer. I don't know the right word there. It throws off the tempo of Thanos too much. So previously, I would be able to go into Miles and say, well, there's not going to be much offense coming back at me at Thanos, so I'll be able to take the web gun token off. That's just not the case with Agatha Switch and Saki on the team.
Okay.
Because they have huge reach. So does Flash. The Flash does too, right? The charge Flash. But typically he's kind of the first target, right? Because he's obviously gets to make 2 attacks a turn. He gets in your face. He ignores characters. He's the hardest to defend from. But everything else is just bam, 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 right there, right? So that's what I like about Miles. And obviously Miles brings a lot of stuff through the team. But Miles combined with the offense of Sakarian Iron Man makes the pacing for Thanos very tricky. Now, you could miss both your shape changes, miss both your super senses, and take 6 damage to the face. Right? It happens. Yep. But the other thing is, with the ability to likely lose map, you're almost always likely losing the fire. Or, in the instance of my new version of the team, the cloak. Which is bad. It's all bad. So, big sad there. That's almost enough. Anything that y'all want to add about what Miles that you've noticed in aspect to fighting the 3 to 4 archetypes?
It's a great taxi too.
Because he's 60 points copying Underworld, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yep.
Yeah, carrying 2 people up. I've done that probably most of my games. He can carry Iron Man. He can carry a Flash up. He's hard to kill, obviously, because he has shape change super senses, and he's deep, right? He's 6 clicks long. It's really not many people doing that anymore without the power gem. So he normally lands on his later dials, which can be really annoying. He gets outwit. He's still an 11 attack charge piece. Still has a shape change. So, yeah, he's well worth the 60 points.
Right. Yeah, I agree. So, Sakarian Iron Man.
Yeah, the big change was that in the new set, when the new set came out, you had Iron Man, which is like probably the best piece in Modern, or close to it, or tied to it, or top 3, or whatever you want to say. And then you also have Agatha and Scarlet Witch, which are great offensive options, and that wouldn't have been enough. But then we also have one of the other best pieces in the game, Marvella, which just happens to add them to every themed team in the game, pretty much.
That's right.
So like Miles is great. Go ahead.
No, I was. Yeah, go ahead.
Is celebrity now the best? Is celebrity now the best keyword in the game?
No.
No, definitely.
Spider-Man family might be.
No, but among those Spider-Man family, how many of them are celebrities?
There's a lot of them for sure. I tried to build just a celebrity team, and you can build a good celebrity team, but I don't think it's as good as adding another keyword in.
Mine is purely celebrity.
Okay. Wait, I don't know which one you ended up with, but I know that you had Fantastic Four and Avengers and like 3 different swap options and Spider-Man family.
Yeah, but every single main person has celebrity.
Yeah, but you're switching them out.
So it's still, I mean, that's fine. That still a celebrity theme team. Last I checked in the rule book.
Wait a minute, it's a Spider-Man family theme team, right?
If I want to declare it Spider-Man family, I could, but I don't want to. It's celebrity. It's purely, if I didn't have Marvella, it's still a theme team.
Right.
If you didn't have Marvella, it wouldn't be a theme team.
No, that is true.
Yeah.
So that's the key difference. Is mine is. That's why I'm saying, oh yeah, mine is a celebrity theme.
I don't know if that's the key difference, but okay.
No, it isn't the key difference, but it is a difference.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, Sakarian Iron Man.
Yeah, he's very good.
Man,
he's really good. What else can you say?
He's just really good. I don't know. I don't think there's really much else we can say. Someone did bring up. So I guess about the X-Men has access to his only silver bullet,
which is what?
Exodus.
Because of mind control and then damage.
Yeah.
I would do maggots as like an offhand.
Yeah, maggots are good, or anybody that can just like ping him like that.
Yeah, like the problem with animal is obviously without Grodd, animals just aren't as good. But an X-Men team that can utilize maggots, I mean,
it's good against them.
Right? They can whittle him down, but like the issue, I would say in general, right, is like if you play 2 maggots, right, they hit him to click 3 with their poison. And then they go to last click with their attacks if they don't have any empower. And then
and he doesn't have any tokens, and they hit 19.
No. That's without moving and removing an object because the pogs are only 2 damage.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, it depends then.
Right.
You probably take the damage. It depends on.
Right, but so that's what I'm saying, right? If they have no empowers, right, and you just get attacked by 2 of the poison pogs, right, and they hit, right? Let's assume that they hit. That's last click where he would go to 12 for 5 with
11 for 5 with a perplex.
Yeah, he's 2 tokens puts him 11 for 5. He perplexes up to a 12, and then he can potentially go after 2 maggots. Now they get their super senses. I get that. Or if they're that close, he can go sidestep, flurry, steal energy, and then
there's an assumption baked in there.
Right. Well,
because he has the cloak, Tyler.
Because he has the cloak, Tyler. Tyler, we are not entertaining not equipping Sicarian Iron Man with the cloak. He has 55 points.
We will when I get to talk about my team.
It's true. But in this case, against maggots that we're talking about, he's worse because he can't choose Flurry, Steal Energy, and sidestep over and clap on 2 maggots.
I will agree that Iron Man without the cloak is worse than Iron Man with the cloak.
So
we have it on record now.
Yeah, we do.
I would never disagree with that.
Hundreds of people will now hear it, Tyler.
Uh-huh.
Hundreds of people. So,
is there any quirks that you guys have noticed with Iron Man? Playing him?
I don't think so. I mean,
yes.
Go ahead.
Well, no, my quirk was if it's a mirror match. That was what I was going to talk about.
Go ahead.
Whichever Iron Man hits first is usually going to end up being the victor. Because it's usually I send my Iron Man out against yours. I send mine. It's literally a rock and sock and robot like matchup where it's just who could charge flurry on each other first, and then you debate. Okay, well I can't take both hits, so I'm gonna have to give up an object. Where are the objects located? Are they close enough by that I can like take one hit and then just keep the one object, or do I have to blow? It's literally. It's usually the one who hits first is the one that's going to end up being the one that survives. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
That feels true of every piece that has ever been printed.
Well, you're going to end up in a lot of mirror matches, is what I'm
true.
saying.
That's true.
He is only 50 points, so
yeah,
you got to know how to handle Sarkarian Iron Man versus Sarkarian Iron Man, and it's either you steal their cloak, but that puts them at a disadvantage, or you get your guy in there to hit first while also not overextending and getting it where he's just going to get demolished. But
what powers are you guys picking the most? The obvious ones are, Charge Flurry, right?
Yeah, Charge Flurry.
I picked
the big one.
Hypersonic.
Mm-hmm. Have you guys picked? I find myself picking TK a lot with him.
Nope.
Just me.
Okay. I picked
I
picked Poison and Psyblast.
Oh yeah, I did
last
pick
night.
Poison. Mm-hmm.
So
Iron Man is I'm happy.
that is fair, but you're not happy if he's TKing a Scarlet Witch into your team to ruin your whole team, or Chaos. I'm sorry.
I used Stealth and Precision Strike a couple times.
Yeah.
That means he's not attacking though.
It does, but you got flashes. Flashes
right,
are pretty.
Yeah, I'd rather TK in somebody that's going to ruin the whole ruin. There we go. Yeah, ruin the whole team, and then
that's a different word.
Flash charge in. But yeah, so last night I did poison someone, sidestep away. So I outwitted Imperv, poisoned them on the invuln, sidestep away, and then side blasted for the KO.
Yeah, Outwit Poison is a great combo that this piece also has. Yeah, hypersonic. The power combinations are surprising. Hypersonic Precision Strike works, but hypersonic Penpsych is something I've picked before. Or hypersonic Quake is available to you as well. So, yeah, he's very good.
And with the cloak, he's got a 14 square reach by himself.
It's much more than that.
More. It could be a 15 square reach by himself. 15 by himself.
Well, he also has range.
Yeah.
That's true.
Right.
That's true. So
he has 5 range with hypersonic.
18 square range by himself. With the cloak.
It's 20.
With the cloak.
But the cloak is 20, right? Because he hypersonics, so he sidesteps for 2, He hypersonics for
13.
12, 13 if you want. Yep. So that would be 15,
Yep.
and then he has a 5 range with hypersonic.
Oh, no, that's right. I forget about the pluses to range. That's so silly that he gets +2 to all of his stats.
That is silly. And it's also very good because he gets a range of 8 just normally for like Outwit and Perplex and Theme Probs. It's very, very useful. He's like everything about him is so good.
Yeah, it's quite insane.
I just never find in the games that I've played with him so far, which mostly are the ones from Friday and then one other practice.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't find myself hypersonicking as much as I wanted.
Yeah.
Mostly just one, I lost map every single time, so that put me behind a bit. But other than that, I didn't like overextending with him. I think if you're gonna play Sarkhan Iron Man, you also have to really figure out object placement. Like, it's such a minor thing in the game, but man, is it like knowing, hey, I'm gonna probably only need 2 here in my starting zone, and the rest need to be in the middle in a very good spot. Like, it, because there's been plenty of times I'm out there, I'm like, man, I wish I had placed an object like 3 squares closer than where I did, because I wasn't thinking about, oh yeah, I'm gonna get hit, or where I put things. You don't think about it because it's the beginning of the game. You're just like, all right, let me put down my figures, put down my object.
It's hard to predict where you're gonna wind up at.
Yeah,
and you need those.
Yeah,
like I was putting like 3 right in front of my starting area, basically.
Yeah, and so if you're thinking that's going to happen, then you're thinking you're going to get smacked in the face. And so, but if you're thinking you're going to get a little bit more aggressive, the middle of the field is fine. You never want to put it on their side if they've got their own Sarkarian Iron Man. So really, you just kind of put it in the middle. But it's been very interesting playing him.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So, yeah, insane, right?
Yeah.
So Scarlet Witch or Agatha?
That is the question.
So it is the question, but both of them, right? So I think Scarlet Witch and Agatha, right? We like them so much. Then Lewis's dog does as well.
Not my dog, it's BZ's.
No, BZ's dog.
Okay.
That's right. So is that in the Fantastic Four matchup? Lewis, I think you experienced this Friday versus Jason. Unoutwittable mastermind and defend and invincible and all that other stuff isn't so fun whenever it's rune markered away / chaos markered away, right?
Thank you.
So, Lewis and Jason, if y'all want to talk a little bit about your game and the impact that Scarlet Witch had on the game and some of both of y'all's thought processes during that game.
Okay. Lewis, I don't know. Do you want to go? Lewis won map and got to go first.
So typically with a map I've only started playing Fantastic Four it's the team I've been playing for about a month and a half now. I started playing it immediately after Kilted Classic. That's my most practiced team. But this is my first time facing Scarlet Witch, so I really didn't know what to expect. Mm-hmm. So I went to Glen Grove, since that's the most common map nowadays I'd say for Fantastic. It's just a good map in general. It's probably the most common, the most used map in the meta.
Yeah.
So I went there and I just decided, okay, let's see what happens if I just do my normal Fantastic Four move, which is get up in your face and come at me, bro. And the answer is, I'm gonna come at you, bro, and it's not gonna end well.
Unless my code. Yeah.
You stole his cloak.
On that move as well.
Stole his cloak.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The lesson learned is, then again, after the game, I even realized, if you hang back with Fantastic Four, the team easily outreaches Fantastic Four. Outreaches because Fantastic Four has little to no range. Easily outreaches a lot of things. So I don't know. I've had to go back and rethink. Like I've replayed that not that match, but that team in practice 3 times, and all 3 times it's not gone well. But although the last 2 times it hasn't gone well, it's because Scarlet Witch hit her rollout on her stop click.
Yeah, she does that.
Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, I had learned. It's not a team you can bum rush and expect to go well.
Yeah, that is definitely true.
Yeah, he came up and stole my cloak, and then so you were what? I don't know. You weren't that far away from me. And of course, the formation, like, thing is completely boxed in by the entire F4 team. So, I was able to just TK out Scarlet Witch with Flash, and Chaos marketed the whole squad. I think save 1 figure on the backside. And then I made a rookie who then running shot over to next to Human Torch for an enhancement, and was able to one-shot Dad Thing out of the middle. On the first turn.
Did you? I'm assuming you flex up attack.
Yeah, I think I did. And I had a PD. I didn't have a PD because you don't shoot into the middle. But yeah, I had props. Yeah.
Yeah, you got a lot of props.
Yeah, and I perplex stuff, I do believe. Yeah, so I had plenty of range to do it.
Yeah, team will have 3 normal giant probs and then team probs.
Yeah, the rookie being a giant, being able to see into the middle was huge.
Yeah, rookie's very good.
Yeah, very, very good.
Yeah, I think...
I don't...
Okay.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think that Fantastic Four just has to play differently. They might have just changed their swaps because these figures are being played. But I feel like they do have range options, right? They have High Evolutionary, which is a range figure.
Franklin
obviously,
can be.
Franklin.
Yeah, Franklin is the other one. They have TK options. They have Human Torch that can bump for some extra movement.
Franklin is just so much better when he's hitting for 7 twice, though.
That is true. That is fair. Yeah, Fantastic Four has till now has been very defensive, and then also since they're moving up, they focused a lot on close combat. Right, they have a lot of empowers. They have 3 empowers on the team or something. So I think that they'll probably have to change their figures, at least have options against Scarlet Witch.
Right. So that extends from Fantastic Four to also Monsters, right, and X-Men, right? So Venom Wolverine is great when she come up and make a big attack. Well, but then it kind of sucks if there's a rune marker, chaos. I'm just going to call it a marker. If there's a marker there to where she has no power, so there's no blades, there's none of this other stuff. Sky Tyrant, I don't know if Sky Tyrant's playable now with the advent of Agatha and Switch.
So for monsters, I would say monsters now, because of Agatha and the Witch, or Switch, as Dan likes to call her. It is, if you're going to play monsters, you absolutely have to have Scarab and the radioactive clay on the team.
Yeah.
That's true. Scarab is definitely not like a counter, but he's an answer to Iron Man. He definitely gets an advantage from all the objects. So that is a potential help.
And crazy enough, they can be played together on Spider-Man family.
That is true.
And it's not that big.
Venom Magneto.
And it's not that big of a reach to do it either. I mean, because Pharaoh is pretty dang good. I am not complaining about Pharaoh at all.
Yeah, I would say that. As far he did. Yeah, I saw somebody playing it.
Paul did.
Yeah, I played Paul. Yeah, Paul's playing it. It was a very, very good team.
Yeah, as far as the actual dial, I think Spider Pharaoh is far and away the best spider chase. It's crazy what her dial does, right? 11 for 4, leadership, prob. Is it enhancement and a power?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy. Support powers. And she's 11 for 4 precision strike for no reason. It's crazy.
Right.
Yep.
I'm glad that you're gendering her correctly now.
I did it. I learned.
We're proud of you.
Yeah.
Good job, Tyler.
So yeah,
I do think
yeah.
it's...
I mean, monsters.
I was gonna say to circle us back to monsters. I don't know if I agree that Sky Tyrant's not playable, but I think because he's definitely still very playable. Especially when you guys play these very tasty Spider-Man chases out there, because they are kind of tasty if he could get through that precision strike or something. But I think they're still definitely playable. It's just we're used to a certain kind of monster team in the past couple of months, and now it's kind of changed to one that like Az is playing, where it's less about high theme and I'm gonna play Jubilee and you're gonna hate life because you have to go against Jubilee. It's now it's back to like more of a finesse monster team with Scarab copying stuff and shooting you from all these objects, and Sky Tyrant's still going out and them being able to TK him like through objects, and Venom Magneto's there to just TK him back. I don't know. There's a lot of finesse stuff monsters can do. It's not as easy. I won't say it's easy, but I feel like it also was a little easy when it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
I mean,
I
it
know
is.
if
I
win
mean,
map.
it was a sledgehammer, right? Because they were consistently 10s or higher, and they were sledgehammering you with the 1-2 punch of Jubilee and Sky Tyrant.
Specifically Sky Tyrant with a power gem, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's a big hit
big
for
loss.
Sky Tyrant as well. Yeah.
Right.
But he could still carry a Moloid up.
You can.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that's not the same
not-
thing.
He was carrying a Moloid before. 4
Yeah,
is,
he was dealing 6.
4
Yeah,
is
I
less
had
than
both,
4
right.
is less than 6. Last I checked.
True, but I think I feel like Scarab was still played, but I felt like he fell off a little bit.
He definitely did, for sure.
But I think he's immediately back on because he is dumb, and like Lewis was saying, like him with radioactive clay having an almost 13 range in some instances from just any objects or any unheld objects or equipped people, like
So
that's significant.
I would say, if anything, Monsters has now become more fair, and that may not be a good thing for it. Does that, and now let me explain. Like I was saying, with they had the high theme. They've lost Wendigos. They lost Storm. They lost the Proteus.
Probably the biggest loss.
Yeah, so they lost a
Wendigo.
bunch. I said Wendigo, and they've lost all of. It's fine. They've lost all of those things, right? So now they are trying to struggle back up to like a 7-8 theme, right? So now it's fair on with another +8.
Sure. I'm kind of in the position where, like, obviously the 3 big new pieces currently are Agatha, Scarlet Witch, and Iron Man. They changed the meta a lot, specifically with the markers, removing tokens. I think people have to play differently against it, and I think right now it seems very, very, very good, and it probably is very, very, very good. But I just think the meta is probably going to people are going to find an answer to it, like with your guys' game, right, Lewis and Jason. It was. It sounds like it was pretty not close, but it sounds like you won't do that again, right?
Right.
So I think that it's going to work for a little bit, really, really well, and then people are going to just adapt to it. I'm not saying it's bad. It's definitely not bad, but I'm saying that it might be overhyped. I think people will adjust to it. Is all I'm saying, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say it's overhyped. I think you're absolutely correct, though. I think we're in the feel of people haven't come up with an answer for it yet.
Yeah,
Not that it doesn't exist.
They're playing
But
the same teams they have been, and something new happened and it didn't work, and so it's like kind of a shock.
Yeah, they haven't adjusted their team. They haven't added like another TK to TK someone out of the field or something. They haven't made the adjustments needed yet, and they still have plenty of time to do so before Gen Con. So.
I'm kind of lucky because the team that I was using kind of got butchered in a rotation, so I didn't have to run animals into Agatha, which probably would have been annoying. Her just popping that marker down, I can't go at her now, right? It's much harder for me, right? So.
That is true.
Cool.
So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, I am solidly thinking of this as my backup team. So, I don't know.
Or
it's what? Go ahead. Or what?
Are you thinking of Thanos as your backup team?
Ooh, that's
dun,
a good,
dun, dun.
That's a good question. So, I don't know. I guess I need to play this team, this Scarlet Witch team, a whole bunch, so people will adapt to it. Then I'm like, wham, bam, bring out Thanos again.
Little rope-a-dope.
Little rope-a-dope.
I'm pretty sure we can expect to see a lot of Scarlet Witch on Friday.
Right. Yeah.
And Agatha.
And Agatha. Yep.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Like, it's just one of those things. Like, it feels good, right? And the one thing I've stressed with you all about the team is you've got to have a Realm of Death plan. Because that map still exists, and that map sucks ass for any team that's not prepped for it.
It does. It's annoying.
Yes.
It's annoying.
Yeah, it is. So think about that. So let's leave the flashes for last. Commissioner Tylor, I would say this. We've all talked about the commissioner in the past. We all know what he's did. I think you've convinced me that Underworld is very OP.
Yeah, Underworld is very, very good.
Yeah.
I think the commissioner is very good by himself.
Yeah.
I do think people kind of forgot about him, and I don't really know why. He has to be one of the best 25-point pieces in the game. He gives you so much value for that point cost, right? It's like, it's leadership, it's prob, it's outwit, it's 2 PD team abilities, it's the best pog in the game. He's not easy to kill. I mean, for 25 points, right? He's got stealth and mastermind.
Don't discount that Batman TA either.
Oh, true. Batman TA with the wild cards.
That's on rookie, though. You do have to make rookie to give that up, though.
Well, but it comes for commissioner. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, but what kind of dummy would let commissioner die before you make rookie? That doesn't happen.
What? That totally
that doesn't happen.
That happens a lot, but yeah.
Yes, he's very good. And then he has that attack power that works with the whole team. Because they're all Spider-Man family, so.
And gives another prob through the rookie.
Yeah, he's very, very good.
Yeah.
I think his biggest problem, Tylor, was that he only really fit on Monster.
That's kind of fair.
Like, the only reason he feels a lot more playable now is because people are realizing Miles West is okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so now it's like, okay, now we have good enough police. Let's throw Commissioner on. Because otherwise he was only played on Unthemed or Monster.
Yeah, that's fair. Because, I guess if you built a police team, he was going to be on it. So that's kind of fair.
Yeah.
Right.
I felt like he was probably like my best piece on. He did so much for me during that tournament. Like he was like the kind of the MVP, really.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to pick a favorite figure on this team.
Yeah,
everybody pulls their weight so much. Yeah. And then we get flashes and other because there's some disagreement on the last.
Right. So.
Yeah.
So
25 points.
So I would say the last 25 points. Let's see. Jason and I agree on the next 5 points.
Yeah.
The cloak.
Definitely a cloak.
The cloak. Yeah, all day, every day. And I've been playing with Jimmy. You've been playing with Torch. I don't know that I have a hard argument either way. Jimmy and Torch, both great.
Yeah, for sure. Both good options.
Both great options. What do you think?
I give the edge to Torch just because that barrier and knockback can be clutch. You need it. If you need to push Witch just a little bit further to generate another marker, or you need to push someone, you need to push Fantastic Four away from a Mastermind, Lockjaw, or whatever. It can come in really handy.
Definitely.
Yeah, he's a formation breaker. Yeah, for sure.
Right, and that enhancement is huge.
Enhancement. Yeah, you can't discount that.
Right.
True.
Yeah, so the difference is perplex versus enhancement, basically.
Yeah. There's other options too.
In as far as kind of standard power stuff goes, but I think maybe Torch is a little more versatile. Maybe I'm going back to the Torch camp. I don't know, Tylor. You like your third perplex. I like perplex. I like big number. Big number more better.
Yeah, that's true.
Big damage.
I'm currently running.
So
I'm currently running Darcy.
Right.
Who gives it's similar. It gives out wit. Obviously, it gives a perplex, but it also gives out wit and shield team ability for copying. I haven't really got to use that as much as I'd like. I think it's because I'm bad and I don't do it. Yeah, but I like Darcy a lot. She gets carried around by Marvella most of the time, just sidestepping. The big thing for me with perplex is that you are going to use perplex every turn, and it's going to be effective, right? Whether it's upping your attack or you're always going to use it. Whereas it seems like Human Torch is more situational. Probably when you can use him, it probably is more of an effect, but it seems more situational, right? A lot of times you're shooting with the enhancement, you don't really need it. 3 damage is enough. So then you'd rather have the perplex into attack or defense, or range or whatever. But there's probably not a right answer. It's probably just preference at that point.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's like I said, there's other options. You can run another Marvella, which is great.
Right.
You can run a Mary Jane.
Mary Jane Watson.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, hey, and we've got Marvella on the team.
Oh yeah, Marvella.
Oh
yeah.
She's she's pretty good. So lots of options, and it's so crazy that there's like 4 to 5 different great options for under 25 points, and I don't think that any of them are wrong.
Well, yeah, because you're building with 3 keywords, right?
Yeah.
No, that's true. I'm just saying, like, Darcy's a good answer. Torch Cloak's a good answer. I would say Darcy's probably the lowest answer because it doesn't include the cloak.
You could also run Porterpog. Porterpog's great, right? He copies Underworld.
Is he 20 or 25?
He's 20.
Right. So
right. He gives you the wild card. He's 11 attack.
Is Spirit of the
Spirit
Game?
of the Game's not awful.
Spirit of the Game is 20 points too. Yeah.
Yep. 5th action.
I do like that as a 5th action thing.
All right. I have yet to see anyone use that Pog in practice or in any.
I haven't either. We know the funny thing is as police keyword. So
that's funny. Yeah. But that would lower your theme by 1, which is.
It would.
That's probably the biggest. That's probably the biggest negative, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But MJW Cloak plus some other 5 points. Another Marvella. I do like another Marvella with Underworld because Flash can carry 2 Marvellas, so he's hitting for 5 each time. And then he can hit for 11, right? If he uses his first charge to plop down 2 Marvellas, and then he goes and grabs an object. He's hitting for 11 damage, like
with a 12 attack.
Yeah, and that's where I started out. It was 2 Marvellas instead of a cloak and a Marvella. But, a torch and a Marvella. But
right,
and you have to worry about what you're going to do with the last 5 points, and it gets,
Yeah, I didn't have a great answer for the last 5 points.
Right. Yeah, another equip doesn't feel right because there's really nobody for it to go on. But the map bonus doesn't feel that great either.
You also, for the equipping, you don't really have the actions for it because you're power actioning with Iron Man, you're TKing for the equip, and you wanna make rookie turn 1.
No. So if you're playing with the cloak, the actions are Marvella takes the cloak to Iron Man, and then ideally you're TKing Flash and KOing an object and bringing him all the way back. Or TKing
rookie, right?
Rookie. Right.
Oh, no, you can't do that.
We can't do that on the cloak version. So it's most of the time it's Flash. It could be Rookie. You just might have to like equip the second turn.
You actually can, if it's destroyable, because you can just perplex his range up 3 times. That's if you have 3 perplexes.
Right. Or shields, right? Depending on the
Yeah, but then
map.
then you got to move your shield out, which is scary.
It is. I mean, it's just there's a bunch of different options. So, so let's finish our team build evolution discussion. Lewis, do you want to share what you're playing Saturday for the King of Nolans?
So, I mean, if any one of my EB&D teammates will tell you that I am notorious for, practicing a team for a bit and then scrapping it last minute for something that I rarely practice and going in blind and not doing well. So I didn't do that. I did not do that in the Kilted Classic. I did not do that the last tournament we had in Texas, which was at the end of March into rotation, which was actually in May. I'm not doing that this time, so I'm gonna be running Fantastic Four. That'll be my last. That'll be the last. That will be my last time using F4, though. I'm actually really big on the Prime Peggy Carter. Captain Carter. So I have a couple teams in mind with her. So after New Orleans, I want to move on to her.
Yeah, she's very good.
When I saw her previewed, I knew I am going to build with this piece.
Sure. Are you building her at full? Hello.
Yes.
Oh, okay. You are building your full. Cool. Did you make any changes for the Fantastic Four team?
So the only change I did make, so usually, so Wes and the Phoenix Nest guys, when they ran it, typically had a second high Evo on the sideline. Mostly just out of laziness. I don't want to get a second high Evo or borrow a second high Evo. I use Nathaniel Richards. Because Nathaniel, I found, has been very key in certain situations, especially getting that extra empower or giving Franklin precision strike or give Cain out Franklin or giving whatever power is necessary at the moment. So
yeah, he's really versatile.
Difference.
You just made Alex very happy.
Let's see you.
You're a fan of Nathaniel?
I'm playing him currently. I'm debating him though, because sometimes he can be annoying.
Sometimes.
But no, I like him currently, especially with Fantastic Four not having great TK options on their own, outside of playing an Invisible Woman.
Yeah,
which I don't currently. So
yeah, they do have She-Hulk. It's pretty good. I've heard
She-Hulk.
Funny enough, She-Hulk works better with Nathaniel Richards. So.
Yes, she does.
Because she just makes objects for Nathaniel to just eat. So
fair.
But it's solid. Yeah, I think going back to what you said a lot earlier, Tyler, it is something that Fantastic Four suffers from, is that there's not really better options than Franklin Richards. Like you were talking about, they need to switch to more like long range or more ranged attackers because they're so focused on close combat. The problem with Fantastic Four right now is there's not really a lot of those options. They're very limited. It gets better when the Thor Fantastic Four figures, the Con LEs,
are they not legal?
No, because they don't come out till Gen Con.
They came out at the HeroClix for Huntington.
There was one there. They weren't for sale.
Tyler, they've gotten way better at doing the legality thing.
Yeah.
Sure.
And in that instance, you now have like a 50-point torch that can do some stuff, which is neat, like 3 damage to 3 targets. Like, that's better. But even then, that's not amazing. They don't have the one like special 50-point or less, or even 75-point range attacker. Like the next best range, like you could argue, well, what about Franklin Von Doom? And it's like, well, no, he has to take damage before he could really go to town.
I don't think it's wrong to run 3 high evolutionaries. That piece is still insane.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong against that. That's just harder with switch out.
Yeah, that's fair.
Low point, okay, you have to have a high point of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also with switch out, you typically don't run multiple switch out, and that means you have to main force a couple high evos, and then you can only swap in one. But it's not a bad option. You're right. He's pretty solid, 11 for 3, but for 30 points, that's about it. Like him and Franklin are the dependable ones.
You got old Jimothy.
Who?
Jim Hammond.
Jimothy.
Oh, Jim Hammond. I mean, I'm playing Jim Hammond, but he is not.
It's so funny that he's continued, like, stayed in the meta for how not good he is.
He's back in the meta for me just because he has leadership and he has shield.
Yep.
So it's like
he was on my Spider-Man Family Fantastic Four swap out too.
It's weird because he's 8, 10, 17, 3 running shot energy explosion. That's
dual targets.
I've used him. Okay, you don't got to sell me, but it's just funny to me.
Yeah, you took him to top 4 of the Huntingtons of it, right?
Yep, for robots. Or was it? Yeah,
robots.
I've got robots there.
Robots.
Oh, that's before Master Mold came out.
Yep.
It was.
That is true.
It was before Master Mode came out. So, well, Lewis, I wish you the best of luck Saturday. Get some rest. Be prepared, and let's talk about the Flash. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. I was just gonna say I'm very excited to see the tournament. I'll be watching closely.
Right, exactly. So
that'll be cool.
Hopefully there's some streaming.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So, let's talk about the Flash thing. So I don't know if this is going to be a thing that's still going to be around for nationals or not. Yeah. But it would certainly be a thing that you should be able to run this weekend. I don't know. So this goes back to here at Clixed Off, we don't want things to be hidden in the meta. We don't want people to be surprised. So this is not something to like. We don't know. Tyler, correct me if I want to say this is wrong. I don't know if it's good or bad. We're not like here to place judgment on like what this Flash thing is, right? We're just here to share it and maybe get people talking about it.
Sure.
So I'm going to paraphrase a little bit of Adam's explanation. This is Friedman's. So Friedman played this in Brad's event last week, and I didn't even know about it, right? So because it was played publicly, I did a little bit of investigative reporting on it. So what we know to be true is that when building your force, there is nothing in Flash's effect that limits how many flashes you can play at 20 points.
Yes.
Right?
That is technically true.
That is technically true. So I'll read the Flash, right? He says, during force construction, you may only add WW80 Super Rare 053 Flash at 20 points if you also have a Flash starting at 30 points on your starting force. Mm-hmm. So that is effect number 1. So you could play 1 30-point Flash and 10 20-point Flashes if you wanted to. So during setup, when you place your pieces, the game rules tell you to turn everything to its green starting line unless otherwise instructed. Flash does not instruct otherwise.
So they all start as Charge Flash.
They all start at Charge Flash, right? Because they are white on their starting starting point values. So then, Flash's next instruction that he gives you is at the beginning of the game, you must choose a distinct starting line for each one, and they all have a 30-point value for all effects for this game, including scoring. So at the beginning of the game, you must choose a distinct starting line for each one. So this is not an instruction that can legally be followed if there are 4 or more 20-point flashes, because there are only 3 distinct lines. Therefore, you can't follow the instruction, so they all become charged.
You just
flashes.
ignore that line. You ignore the instruction.
Right, so they all become...
And they stay charged flashes.
That's correct, yeah.
It is... Again, I think it's I think it's open to interpretation, but that's how it's been ruled currently. But so you can run 14 charge flashes, and it's 290 points essentially.
Right.
The other part of this, and that Adam didn't do that, right? The other part of this.
So what Adam did was he ran 130 flash and 320 flashes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was a charge. The three normal flashes. So it was a 1 charge flash and then a set of the 3. Right. So we had 2 charge flashes, a TK, and an outwit.
Yeah.
Which is weird to me because it says if you do it at the beginning of the game, you must choose a distinct starting line for each one. So he's saying that it's complicated. It's so complicated. If you do at the beginning of the game, you must choose a distinct starting line for each one. He's saying that when it says you must choose a distinct starting line for each one, it's specifically referencing only the 20-point flashes. So he's saying that the 30-point comes in as a charge flash, and that's it. And then choosing the distinct starting line is the only thing that's referenced for the 20 points. So based on that, you could run a 30-point flash and a 20-point flash that are both charge pieces, because you're choosing a distinct line for the 20-point one, but it's only for the 20-point ones. It doesn't factor the 30-point one in. Does that make sense? So you could run a 30-point charge flash, a 20-point TK flash, and a 20-point charge flash.
Right. So I would like to just add at this point, because that was all pretty confusing, we could have this all wrong at some point with these little bit different interpretations. What we do know is what I would say, the only thing I really know distinctly, right, is what you said, Tyler. You could run 14 charge flashes, and what Adam played to get the 2 charge flashes. So, but I tend to agree with what you're saying as well.
It feels wrong to me.
It intuitively definitely feels wrong.
Correct.
Because the clear, we hate to say it, but the clear intent is that you play 3 of these, and there's a 30-point, 20-point, and 20-point, and they're all different.
Right. But what is definitely true, right, is that there is nothing that stops you from adding the extra 20-point flashes onto your team.
That's true for now.
That I agree. That is certainly true at this point, right? So the problem is that what do you do with their distinct lines once you've added a gaggle of flashes? So that's what's kind of open for interpretation right now, and probably should drive some sort of fix for the Flash.
I just think it needs to be asked on the win.
I think
questions.
Right, and I would say, like, I think I'm okay if you can play a gaggle of flashes. I just want to. I think I'm okay with that.
I think what they're probably just going to say is, you cannot build a team that is illegal at the beginning of the game. Like, is that not illegal, but causes, you're unable to follow a thing at the beginning of the game or something like that. You know what I mean?
Well, they just errata him.
They could do that too. That's more complicated
easier.
than just a ruling.
I don't think so. I think it's easier to just fix the whole, like, put a caveat of you may only add these at 2 points.
No, that's not
20 points for
easier. The easiest is ask the win, hey, can you do this? And then the win says no, and then that's
you're
it.
Trying to explain it doesn't sound easy.
Right. So I would say, like, the thing is like, they have to word it in some way to where, what if I want to play 6 flashes, 2 charges, and then 2 of the other ones?
They would say you may only add up to 220 points for every flash starting at 30 points or something.
Yeah, so here's what I don't want to get bogged down with. I don't want to get bogged down with the fix because, I don't know, we're not the win, right? And nor do I really even think that it needs to be fixed. It needs to be clarified one way or the other. Right?
Either way, I don't think it's not overpowered. It's not drastic. I don't think it's drastically changing anything. If these flashes were longer than 2 clicks, then maybe.
I think that
they also
flash,
take actions.
I think that the Flash is already a contender for the best piece in the game, and if you give me another one at 20 points, I'm gonna play. Like if this is allowed, it definitely changes my team. I'm running my last 25 points is Flash and Cloak.
Yeah,
like, I was already.
Be an option. Yeah.
I was already considering before dropping Commissioner for another Flash, just because he's so right. good. And right? Dan said it before. He does 11. He can do 11 damage in a turn
with another Marvella.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I just want to get it clarified, and I want to bring that to the forefront now. Like, again, like if y'all listen, the folks that are listening to this, right? We know what Adam played. We know how it was ruled. And I don't want to, like, get us in... I don't want to... How do I say it? I don't want to get us in trouble because we're bringing us to the forefront. Like, we're reporting on something that...
Get in trouble?
I would... Not, like, in trouble, but, like, I don't want people fussing at us. Right?
Well, what?
I don't know, because we get people fussing at us, right?
Because we gave away the secret?
I don't know, not even that. Sorry, I'm not saying the right words, but, like, I don't want to be like, well, Clixed Off said that you could play all these flashes. Well, we didn't say that. We're
just telling you that's how it was ruled in this event.
That's correct. There you go. That's what I'm trying to say.
Sure. So that's fair.
And it needs to be looked at further so we know how it is going forward.
For Nationals specifically, right?
Yes. Answer before Nationals would be great because, again, this does change my team.
Yes. It changes all of our team. I would do it. I would play a second charge flash over Torch. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you can always pick enhancement if you really feel like you need it, like, too. I mean, whatever you thought you needed.
You could pick the enhancement flash, OP.
That was my other thought I was going to mention is it could be that Flash could be better than Torch. Right? He gives you team player, he gives you PD, he gives you enhancement and outwit, and you can outwit through stealth. Like, that Flash, the 20-point Flash might just be better than a third Flash might be better than Torch or Blue. It's possible.
Oh, also, the Scarlet Witch. Don't forget about that Avengers Initiative TA, letting her see through stealth.
True.
Outwit through stealth with the Darkhold.
For combat.
Why is there so many flipping good options for 20 points?
Yeah. Hey, that's great. I
would end this
embarrassment of riches.
Overflowing with riches.
Yeah. Right? Like, could you imagine, like, about 20 years ago would have been saying, hey guys, that con artist is really good.
Con artist was good. She was 12 points.
Good. Yeah, I know. Like, well, you just added
I'm not play a con artist.
The hooker bomb, as it was known.
Oh God!
I mean, that changed the rule. That's where the rule of 3 came from. If I remember correctly.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? You know what? The enhancement. You know what? What I love about this whole thing is, like, the enhancement takes probably one of the best parts of Torch, and one of the best parts of Darcy, and combines them together.
True.
Yeah, true.
In my experience playing that Flash, though, it doesn't live up to what you think. You're always wishing you had one of the other two.
You think?
It's because his whole free see-through things within 6 in line of fire feels bad.
Adam used it pretty decently in our game.
He misunderstood how it worked, by the way. When I played him, he thought it was like the wizard, and so he just saw through everything.
No, it just can't be.
Well, the wizard just sees through everything.
Yeah, he used it to get through my stealth. Is what he did. But
yeah, for me, he accidentally used it to get through, to go through blocking. And he's like, yeah, I can see through everything to you.
Yeah, it just says can't be hindered, but it can be blocked.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, you're not tied to that figure. You can change the dial between games. So.
Well, not if you play. It depends on how it's ruled, I guess.
If you're playing 3 of them, I suppose you can. It says at the beginning of the game, choose a distinct dial.
It depends on how it's ruled, right?
If it's ruled that way, we're not going to play it if it's not ruled that way. But
I might just play 3 flashes over. I think the 3rd flash might be better than Human Torch.
Well,
all I was meaning by my experience with that flash is I feel like Human Torch is just going to be better. That's all.
You just look at the trade-off, right? Because Human Torch gives you an enhancement, right? So they both do that. And then additionally, Human Torch gives you the knockback wall.
And a barrier. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, and then you just compare that to this guy who gives you Outwit. He gives you Team Player, which is really good on this team. And he gives you Police.
Human Torch, also running shot 10 for 3 and a stop click. And a free barrier marker, even if you're not doing the knockback. The stop click is the main one. This dude can just get and just die.
He can, for sure.
He's in stealth, I get it, but that's not that huge of a deal.
Right.
That's the biggest issue with the flashes is if they could do a lot of damage, but then they're just going to die. And so you got to hope you can get in there, do all your damage, and get out or something. And this flash doesn't have that capability. So that's why, for me, it's like, no, this isn't that big of an argument. I feel like Human Torch is clearly better, but if you're debating whether playing between the 3 flashes and you're like, I could choose enhancement if I want, but otherwise I could go to the TK one or the charge one, then sure, that's a much better choice.
Yeah, I'd much rather have a second. If I could have a second charge flash with the set of 3, that's 100%.
Even a second TK flash is amazing. That TK flash is crazy.
I don't think you can have a second TK flash. I think
that's true. That's true. I think
there's no
version of the rules that says that happens.
Right. So I think that you could get a second charge flash, but we don't know for sure. We have. Go ahead.
Really quickly, if we're gonna move off the team, one thing I want to mention is that you definitely want to roll for Skrull Spy on this team because Skrull Spy on a wildcard team is very good with a Miles, right? Giving the shape change he gives out of 4 through 6 is very good.
Conditionally, you got to make sure the Skrull Spy can get into that position, right? Because it's adjacent, so.
Well, no, he just lets the team copy.
Scroll.
Oh, yeah, I get what you're saying now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you're packing Destroyer on the sideline on this team too. So,
right.
Don't forget about that.
Now, Lewis, you aren't switching out to Black Leopard or anything. You are playing the Destroyer in your Fantastic Four.
Yep, Destroyer.
Destroyer's very good.
Yep. And I am remembering more and more to roll for him, so I am so excited.
Oh, yeah.
I am so, patting myself on the back because I have forgotten so many times, and it could have made a difference, maybe.
Not allowed myself to forget.
I'd say I'm about 50-50 right now.
So, hey everybody, just want to take a moment to plug a sponsor of the show, Auxxit. Have you joined the all-in-one marketplace to buy, sell, and discuss HeroClix with fellow players, collectors, and enthusiasts? Auxxit is a platform built to help users find great deals and even greater connection. The HeroClix Community Marketplace is waiting for you. Click the link in the bio to join. I wanted to. So off the team, going kind of transitioning off the team a little bit. So Richard Shaw, I would say, what was your alternative team that was cut out of last week's recording? I think that was mine. I think it was my Emperor Gladiator Soldier team or an Agatha team, but now it's this team we just talked about for the past hour.
Sure.
So Richard Shaw asked a good question, and I want to go ahead and just kind of laugh at ourselves. I want to laugh at myself probably a little bit. Do you feel like your Disney Plus tier maker still holds up after playing the characters? Did any of them move up or down? I had Agatha, Vision Prime, and Scarlet Witch as B tier. Oh boy, I was wrong. I was wrong.
Vision Prime is probably B tier.
Vision, and so Tyler, you had Scarlet Witch as B tier. How do you feel about that still?
That's probably inaccurate. I would say.
So I don't feel bad about Vision. Alex also had Agatha at B tier, and along with Vision Prime at B tier.
That still holds up.
Agatha?
B tier?
You're nuts.
Like, what was our tiers again? What did B mean? Like, decently winning, but not top? Yeah, that's how I feel about Agatha and Vision Prime.
Let me read it. Hold on. B. I got it.
I get
B won't be on winning builds, but could make top cuts.
Yep, that's how I feel about Agatha for sure.
You're crazy.
The only thing I think I tripped on the tier maker is putting the cloak at B and not S. Like that's the lowest thing on here for me, because I got Darcy up high, I've got Witch at 8, Falcon is a little high, most likely. I misplaced him because I forgot I couldn't switch him out. But then that's Cloak Spider-Man, which I would swap out also. So the only one I don't see on here is I don't see the OP Strange.
We may not have ranked.
He wasn't announced.
Oh, he wasn't. His dial wasn't revealed when we did the tier maker.
He was the last one.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's right.
But I don't feel Richard. I don't feel bad about mine. I feel pretty close.
I definitely missed Scarlet Witch, but
yeah, I definitely did too. So, you had Agatha as an A though, so you weren't too far off, right? Because the way I see those, the way I see those two right now is Agatha is a little bit map dependent, but it's like it's almost like 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other, right? Like Agatha offers a little bit of nuance for 25 more points than Scarlet Witch does.
I will also say this: Agatha needs someone with access to Smoke Cloud, so Molecule Man, for example, or something. Because if you go to a map like Ultron's Lair or Hell's Pit, which is a rock map, or even as Fountain of Asgard's, if you want to have a smoke cloud and you get put on those maps with limited printed hindering, and she's going to have a rough time being mobile.
She is definitely much more dependent. Like Scarlet Witch isn't really map dependent at all. So she's much more map dependent. I don't think she's just like... I don't think she's ever bad, no matter what map you put her on. I think she does a lot. But yeah, she's definitely very map dependent. I am still of the opinion that she's probably a little bit better. I like her a little bit better than Scarlet Witch. But so like points for points, I think Agatha is better than Scarlet Witch. But I think that the 25 points that you get for dropping to Scarlet Witch is so good right now that it's probably worth it to drop down.
Right.
One thing real quick about the tier maker is you both have Starter Watcher up there. So what happened with Starter Watcher? Why is nobody playing him?
I don't know. I think he's good. He was one, I mentioned it before, where I said that he could be like we'll just have to play test with him, and I haven't play tested with or against him at all, so I haven't seen him.
I think that it's just we haven't seen enough from the set just yet.
You haven't had enough
Is it
time.
just or is it just keywords?
No, I would say this. So, like, do you feel that your holds up still after playing the characters? So none of us have played Watcher yet. So,
Well, yeah, but he's just asking the question, why are we?
Yeah, I'm just
Watcher?
asking in general because I was looking at the tier maker and I was like, all of these seem okay. You know, the one that hasn't really seen play that you two have high up there, and I have him at B, I think, was the starter Watcher, and I think it's mostly because of Cosmic. Cosmic's just not in a great place right now. But,
Cosmic fits Latveria, right? It's Cosmic as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's his best hope, but I could see him fitting on a Latveria team for sure.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, well, I agree. So I have Super Rare Watcher at a C. And I would like to say post errata. Can I put him anything lower than a D?
What? Oh,
He was just, I don't know, like, I don't want to be over dramatic, but he was kind of straight ass last Friday.
well, he either doesn't do anything like 90% of the time, but then 10% of the time, if you can get that off,
I don't even.
he's very good.
I think it's more like 99-1.
It's probably is. It's
I would
pretty
say
hard to pull off.
you could play 99 rounds of HeroClix and get to convert somebody once.
I don't know. That seems low, but maybe.
Other than if you just did it to do it.
I put him at D. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I'd have him at C. So, but he was like straight ass Friday. I'm being dramatic for effect, but he was not living up to the hype.
Did he just die all the time? Like
He either died or I just won without needing to use him.
Well, he doesn't. If you don't switch out, he does like literally nothing, right?
He has leadership,
Yeah. Okay.
which is not nothing.
It's not nothing, but close.
Close, yeah. I mean, having a consistent 4 actions if he stays in the back of the map is not a bad thing, really, but especially because you get access to the destroyer to make a 4th, to have another attacker. But I don't know. I just didn't see any use for him. Let's see. Next question. I want to just Richard, 2 questions answered. Brad Boyles wants to know, why is Lewis so handsome? Why is Lewis so kind? Why is Lewis?
I can take this one.
Okay.
No, go ahead. I'm just kidding.
No. You stepped up to the plate there, Tyler. Why is Lewis so handsome?
Let's hear it, Tyler.
Because he is an upstanding gentleman who takes care of himself.
Tyler, Lewis flew all the way from the great state of Texas to Indiana, and he was telling me that he wanted to. The main reason he was flying up here to play in the Closer Classic was to meet you, and then you didn't show up. So,
wow, appreciate it.
That's very inconsiderate of you, Tyler.
You know, he was saying down in when we were down in Orlando, man, he was saying he really wished that he could see Dan and Jason.
Nobody ever said that.
Oh wait,
And Alex,
Lewis, were you at the Clixed Cup last year? Then
Yeah,
I was. I was on a 6-month hiatus, and I just got back into Clix. And I asked my teammates, what's going on? They said, well, the Clix Cup is happening. I'm like, well, what's going on? When is that happening? And I'm like, oh, well, it's probably all booked. And Aaron says, no, let me talk to David. And David, being the good guy he is, said, yeah, there's a spot. So I booked it.
Cool. I didn't know that.
I'm right into Clix Cup after a 6-month hiatus.
right.
It was a great time.
Well, it was essentially though that when Tyler went to Clixed Cup, it was like he wasn't there because he stayed in his room the whole time.
Lewis was one of the few people that I talked to at the Clixed Cup.
That's funny.
Yep.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, okay. All right. So, Jacob Springer asks, thoughts on what a current Don't Die team should include?
Starter Watcher.
You know who it is? Well, maybe that. Probably not. It's not hard to kill that guy.
Yeah, it is. Is it not?
I don't think so. He's a 19 defense, 6 clicks, but like on a don't die team, I don't think that's good enough.
I don't know
just
if
a
there
6
is.
click
I don't know
figure.
if there is a don't die team.
Yeah.
Right now, right?
Well, it's Wolverines, right? There's Wolverines.
the super rare
Prime
one.
Vision Wolverine, yeah. Seems like a
I mean,
But
but you
yeah.
put
fair one.
Isn't Sarkarian Iron Man on that list?
I don't think so.
He's somewhat of a don't die.
I don't think that's what don't die means. I think he's hard to kill, but that's different, I think.
So you swap in Mark Wolverine that hasn't been fixed, and then you play the Don't Die Wolverine from Fantastic Four with some other super hard to KO Fantastic Four piece.
Yeah, probably one of the Thor ones.
So glad that Invisible Woman from Cosmic Clash is rotated.
Yeah,
Same.
a lot of people are.
Such an annoying team. Such an annoying team.
It is for sure. I hate. Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was a cool concept, but it was not fun. But yeah, the one that people are forgetting. This is a good figure, and people forgot about it. Is Plastic Man, the Con. He's a great figure, for one, and for another, I looked at him because he's a police team for 20 points. He's actually not bad, but he can switch into his immobile, indestructible object and then just be off the map, and he's literally impossible to kill. Right? I don't know of a way to kill it. It's an immobile, indestructible object.
So if Plastic Man began the turn on the map, generate a disguised Plastic Man object that you haven't already generated this game. If you do, place Plastic Man on your sideline, so he goes away.
Yes.
So
the only one is Mailbox. I thought there was a fire hydrant, but I couldn't find it.
No, there's not. They were teased at one point, and I think there was actually a set of them that sold on eBay.
Okay.
At one point,
so there's currently is only
the
Mailbox.
The nifty mailbox was actually posed on eBay.
There you go.
So it's indestructible and mobile.
Yeah.
So how does he come back? I'm looking him up. So how does he come back?
He just can at the beginning of your turn. He can come back if his object is on the map, and if none of your team is on the map, then he must come back.
And then he shape change super senses.
He is, but it's like on a don't die team. It's a 40-point figure that literally can't die if you have a figure on the map.
20. Oh, you can do 40.
40.
You can do 40. He's got impervious at 40 points. That's hilarious.
Yeah, and shape change, and he gets super senses. He's 11 for 4. He can, I like him. Also, that Loki, the rare Loki, the old man Loki, is not bad. Because he's a decently long dial for 75 points. His top click is crazy because you get to place him and then place 4 squares of barrier, and then when you do finally kill him, you can replace him, and they don't score until they kill the other Loki. So
No, just wait. Who asked the question?
I don't know.
Jacob Springer.
Jacob Springer. Just wait till Exoswords, dude, and then you'll be fine.
Yeah, there's danger rooms too again.
And the other, literally don't die Wolverine, another one.
True, that's true.
You can play a don't die team of just Wolverines,
and
right. One Fantastic Four figure.
Yeah,
I mean that seems right.
Lockjaw. Just have a Lockjaw or 2 in the back, and then just have all the Wolverines run up.
in Plastic Man.
Sure. And Plastic Man for the remainder of the points. So let's talk a little bit about sealed product. So Jason Labandera asked, do you think Whiskies need to do anything about the supply-demand problems with legacy figures? Maybe a pack that contains all the figures for the legacy cards for a set price, and if you already have the figure, you'd be good to go. I know I'll have a different opinion probably than y'all, but how do y'all feel about having to go procure 20-year-old figures?
I wish they'd give us more cards, like instead of one per brick.
That's a little fair. I am pretty happy with it the way it is. There's nothing like super crazy expensive, right? Some are expensive, but it's because they're meta pieces and they're popular pieces, and that's fine. They are pretty rare.
But none of them. I would say none of them have reached unobtainium prices.
Yeah, they're just like, if it's a meta figure, it's a pretty normal meta cost. If they're cheaper, they're gonna be cheap. Not like a common cheap, because they are one per brick, but
right. But
and I think it's cool.
Like, what is it, like Hawkeye and Namor and stuff? That whole bundle is $20-$30, so that's not more than like a really good super rare.
Right. Yeah, which makes sense because again they're one per brick. So I don't have a problem with it, and I like that it adds value to old clicks. It's cool. And
then when I say combo, I mean the figure plus the card. So like what the really expensive ones have been, Thanos.
Thanos is the most expensive.
Yeah,
for sure.
Thanos, Morgan,
Surtur.
Oh yeah, okay.
Lockjaw.
Surtur, isn't he like 200?
Yeah, but I think that was
he got up to 200.
I think that was for like what we'd call a PSA 10 example. That was everything put together.
But then again, those were a little different because their legacy cards were much more accessible.
Were they?
The Lockjaw and Thanos were, at least. Because they weren't limited to one a brick. They were in the Fantastic Four storyline, which, depending on your store, you could get a bunch of them, and you got to purchase the packs too.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are different from the card standpoint, but the figures are the ones that are more expensive. Whereas Surtur, because there's also wasn't there one War of the Realms Legacy that was just
Pile Driver and Hogan.
Oh yeah.
That's because no one could find the card. It had nothing to do with how good it was. It was just no one could find the stupid card.
Right.
Yeah. Just for reference, Surtur this weekend went for best offer on $190 and also sold for $150.
Dang.
Grief.
I think
but it feels like that was a Super Booster Legacy. So I don't know, like,
which are up for sale on WizKids.com.
Yeah, it's true. So like Jason, like I think I tend to try to sympathize with a newer player trying to get into the game these days more than I used to, because from my opinion, like I almost have every HeroClix ever, almost not like almost. I'm probably like a 75% complete. So like it doesn't really affect me that badly. Like whenever the X of Swords cards came out, like I went and just dug in all my set boxes and produced all the figures. I had them all.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I wish I'd known like 5 years ago this was coming, because I got rid of a lot of crap that I would like to have back.
Yeah,
Surtur included.
Right.
I think that's where I have the hardest problem. Isn't for new players, isn't for older players. It's like the middle players, where it's like you get to watch an unboxing, but you're 10 to 15 minutes too late. And everyone has already rushed out and bought every single one of these figures on eBay and the stores before you even have a time to react. Like,
yeah, I don't know if there's a good way to do that, though.
That is the problem.
Yeah.
That's the one avenue that I think does stink a bit.
Right. Well, like, so Alex, as a fellow middle player, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I understand like Alex started once at Civil War, so like 2 years after I did.
Mm-hmm.
But I purposely gone back and collected old stuff, which is not for everybody, but like that's what I've done. I mean, was doing that before Legacy cards was a thing.
I'm sorry, Age of Ultron, not Civil War.
Gotcha. Yeah, so you were a year behind. You were a year behind me.
So
about
2 years.
Yeah. So
But I did also do that where I went back and collected some Trinity Wars, some Flash stuff. Like I was buying Flash boosters because all that stuff was still legal.
I love that set.
Yeah, I mean, I also got like a mostly complete uncarded Kerr set in a collection last year. So I would say I went full and deep because last month was my 8th year of playing HeroClix, and now I buy and sell collections as a hobby. So,
sure.
So I don't know, Jason. I don't know if there's a great answer, but I think we would all agree on necessarily that bringing value to older clicks that were worthless is a good thing for a lot of people.
Yeah, I agree with that. I love legacy cards. It's probably one of the best things I've added recently. Yeah. I think.
If anything,
what do you think? So, Lewis, what do you think? What do you think, Lewis?
Oh, good point.
So I've only been around clicks for 4 years, so I really don't have a to say. But I'm glad for legacy cards.
So, like, you're playing Fantastic Four this weekend, right? So, what did you own Lockjaws before? Did you go out and pay the $60 a piece for them? How are you playing with Lockjaws this weekend?
So actually, when I first got back into clicks, or not back into clicks, when I got into clicks in 2018, I came in during Avengers Infinity. I just looked back and, not really knowing a whole lot about clicks, just bought a bunch of a collection of old sets. Like there was one set, guy was selling a whole bunch of old clicks for about $300, so I just bought the whole collection, and in that were a couple of Lockjaws.
Hey.
Hey.
I did not have to go out and get Lockjaws. I had to buy the cards, which I had to pay $12 a piece for the cards, but
that's the cost. That's the less than a cost of a booster now.
Yep.
So
that's how I was able to get my Lockjaws. But I'm glad for the legacy cards. I think they're going to be really good because, gives me reason to hold on, to actually be a collector of the game and hold on to my figures. Says who knows, down the road they might get a legacy card, and I'm still hoping my Green Arrow can get a legacy card. One-armed Ollie.
That'd be cool.
Like him to get one.
So, like, it was funny, like, you mentioned the Lockjaws, like, so, I had a lot of success with the Infinity Gem Lockjaw. Well, at Gen Con in 2018, like, they had, like, the CUR bulk at Gen Con, or the old REV bulk, and I bought, like, all the Lockjaws, all the old Lockjaws. I was like, I love Lockjaw. I mean, I still do. And I was like, Lockjaw me up. And I was like, yeah, Lockjaw. They were all the rookie and experienced ones. If I had known then, right, I would have dug out for all the red ones too. But
the two, that set I bought had 2 sets of each of rookie, experienced, veteran.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
And that was good.
Yep. Yep, and I'm glad I held to that too. No, I could have sold it back anywhere though.
So Jack Smith asks, "Do you think God packs are worth it in sets when it obviously messes up distribution?"
I think that's two separate questions.
Yeah, it doesn't mess up distribution, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's separate.
I think that it, in this case, it confounds it. I don't know the right word, but it's misconstrued with distribution issues, because he mentioned like 5 of their 6 cases were identical. That's not a God pack issue. That's just a distribution issue.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. These are separate issues. God
Right.
packs aren't related to distribution issues.
Right.
But I've heard, not that I buy HeroClix, but this set was pretty bad for what I heard. Right. People were getting duplicate bricks and stuff.
Yeah, it was funny. Sam mentioned probably taking like an hour-and-a-half drive south of us to like see what kind of boosters they got of Disney Plus, right? Because she currently doesn't have a Scarlet Witch to play with, so.
I mean, I was okay with it. I pulled like lots of Saki Iron Mans and Vision Primes, so I was cool with it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're on the end, but like Jack was on the end of pulling Captain America chases, which is decently expensive, but it's not the Saki Iron Man, right? Or it's not the set of witches.
Well, War of the Realms was okay, right? Was there issues with War of the Realms?
I don't know. I don't know.
There...
I only bought 2 cases because it was kind of a garbage set. Just being honest.
I don't remember hearing any complaints. I feel like it was all just the set is mad, but I didn't.
I think that's because not a lot. I think it was because not a lot of it was bought. If I had to be honest.
What about Empire?
I mean, no.
Empire. There were issues with Empire.
I don't think so. No.
I got a lot of double. I pulled double bricks.
Okay, I know what's going on.
Double check.
Alex
going back to my theory of 2 factories. Yes.
Yeah, his conspiracy theories. He's adding evidence.
I'm just gonna. I mean, but we've traced it before, saying it sounds like there's one that produces, because I've heard it from other people before, that there's multiple factories that makes it and distributes, and usually one's a good one and one ends up being a bad one. So this one could have just been done at the bad factory. And
that's possible.
That's why we have the bad distribution. And War of the Realms could have been fine, and then Empire could have been the bad one, because I remember getting a lot of duplicate cases with Empire, because we didn't get Venom Magnetos down here. We got a ton of like Norn Rats and Ricky Barnes, like just a ton of I have like 3 Ricky Barnes.
Hey, Ricky Barnes is an option on Fantastic Four.
Yeah, not a great one. Not a bad one, but not a great one.
Sure.
So maybe that's just, that's what this is, and X of Swords will be better, and who knows. But no, Jackson, I don't think it has anything to do with God Packs. I think God Packs are literally just sprinkled in to other set bricks, because, there was one locally, we talking with you guys, we were thinking, maybe it's a God Pack because it had like a collector in it and something else, and there ended up not being a God Pack in it, even though the brick sounded like it should have had one.
Well, it was the case that had the God Pack. I mean, it has been very definitive that the God Pack comes with Scarlet Witch in one brick and Collector in the other one.
God, that's a great break.
That's a great case. That's what we opened up for sealed.
Good.
Yeah, it just really depends on whether they decided to put a God Pack in that case.
Right.
Yeah. And that will be my happiest sealed ever, because I opened the God Pack and Sam opened up the Scarlet Witch chase.
Oh my God.
Sam and I won that sealed in multiple avenues.
Shocker.
Right. Ultron Infinity still sucks ass.
Okay.
Unfortunately. So, all right. That was sealed. So Brad. I don't know. Let's see. I want to mention one other thing before we talk about X of Swords for a couple minutes to end out the episode. And that was Giordano asked do you think that WizKids will do something for other countries as pseudo-nationals? This way Canada can win their own national titles twice in a row. I don't know if I have no idea if they will do something. There's absolutely no way to predict that, right? I think that they...
No, there is.
What is your answer then, Tylor?
It is June. They will not.
Right.
This year, at least.
I think so. I think that they should do something.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. They have here's what we know, is that they have established contacts in multiple countries. Mm-hmm. Because they've ran them at stores before in multiple countries. And I don't know the state of the world right now, every country, but I have talked to Giordano and other folks in Canada, and I have talked to a couple of folks down in Mexico. So for our top hat and pants here in America, they are ready to run nationals. WizKids should do something this year for them, and but it seems like June is a little bit too late to do that. I don't know what you call it. I don't know what you call it. Ask somebody in marketing. Right?
I think a nationals is fine.
Right.
Like, it doesn't have to be... I mean, not... I'm American, so... Sorry, but it doesn't have to be as big as this one, right? This one, America. It's an American company based in America. It's easier for them to do something, but they can get product to other countries pretty.
Yeah, they can
I
get.
want to say easy because there's a cost there, but
there's a cost, and then there's shipping issues and stuff. But they can get something to a partner in one of these countries to run a larger than a WKO, maybe smaller than a Nationals event.
Yeah, I'm sure that the people that play Clix in other countries would be happy with almost anything extra, right?
Yeah,
just something.
Con-LEs, something, right? Yeah. Something.
Yeah.
I don't know if you make it close enough to the border in Canada, like what is it? What's close to the Detroit border? Montreal? No, maybe not. I don't want to mess that up. Is it Toronto? It's Toronto.
Toronto is closer than Montreal. Yeah. I think they're both on the border though.
I think Montreal is the New York border. I'm looking at the map now. Detroit is close to Toronto. But so is like New York. Sorry for my.
Sure.
And I guess Ottawa, where they've had it before, is as well. You could. WizKids is in New York, right? I know it's like an 8-hour drive, but New Jersey, almost same thing.
You're gonna piss people off.
I know. It's the same. It's really close. Really, New Jersey's not.
That's a pretty controversial statement.
Yeah, I guess. More controversial than "Please don't say Clixed Off" said about the flashes. Anyways, you could load up a car with stuff and take it to Toronto. Then have people have a small Nationals or whatever.
You have to go through customs. Maybe it's illegal paraphernalia.
Yeah, I have no idea. But
think about all the times you had to ship stuff to Canada.
Yeah, at any rate. So swords, 10 of Swords, X of Swords. McConnell, this is a big question for everybody. What are your hopes for the X of Swords legacy figures? Badassery.
I hope they're all terrible because I couldn't get any of
them. Which ones are they?
Iceman.
I've heard really Iceman.
I've heard really good things about that Iceman. I've heard it's one of the best Iceman.
He is the best Iceman, I think.
Good point.
He was. I don't mean he will be now.
That Iceman got second at Worlds in 2016 when Pat won.
Was he on an ID?
No, he was main forced with Nighthawk Prime and a Sin box.
Oh, cool.
So he sidestepped.
Yeah, I love that.
He sidestepped through characters and locked them down.
Yeah, and attacked them too, right?
I think so. So I hope they're all really cool. We saw Banshee, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Banshee is very good.
I don't either.
Banshee's
but
okay.
He passively gets rid of defensive powers, which is huge.
True. It's a great ID.
He's only the legacy card is only 75 points, right?
Yeah, I think the other was like 98. I think
the figure was 98. So hey, X-Men swap, more for X-Men swap.
Yeah.
He doesn't ignore characters. Did the old one ignore characters? I don't remember.
No, he just flew.
No, the old one had a bunch of just ignore.
Oh, that was on.
That
was on its pulse wave power on Click 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's weird. I remember him just like lighting people up.
Well, that's because he got rid of defensive. He neutered down defensive abilities.
True, that's true.
But his improved targeting was on his pulse wave on his second click, I think.
I'll actually have to change my answer and say I really hope Fabian Cortez is great because that's the only figure I actually do own. Because he was uncommon.
Sorry, but what are you talking about? Pulse wave on Iceman?
Banshee.
I'm talking Banshee.
Oh, Banshee. Oh, okay. I'm getting Iceman didn't have pulse wave.
Yeah. So
Iceman's cool.
I don't know. I hope they're all cool. Like these big guys are neat. I guess I could answer from a position of greedy. Is
Yeah,
is that allowable? Like, if I were to answer from I dug through the Thanos collection, and I really hope that Magneto is good because I have 10 of them. And what I do like about this REV stuff being legal is that the sculpt is the same from rookie and experienced. So, like, I have, like, the Thanos collection, like, I didn't have to go digging for a specific sculpt.
Oh, I gotcha.
Right, just any Magneto, right? Like, so if I have 10 of the veterans, right, I have 30 of them. I have 30 of the sculpts.
Right.
Probably.
You don't gotta worry about that.
Right.
I hope that they do make Havoc really well. That's the one I want to see.
Yeah.
I want to play that guy in the meta again.
You know their track record with Havoc is garbage, right?
This was the good one. This was the one that was really good.
Right. And how old is it?
I think it came out in the third set. It was Infinity Challenge, and then Explosion, and then Clobbering Time, and I think Mute Mayhem was next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
really old.
And we haven't gotten a good one since, right?
Yeah, but this is it. This is
their
time.
chance. So what I would say, my hope for the really good one, I like this.
18 years, but 18 years.
I like. I think they've always done a great job with Forge, and I don't want to be let down with this new Forge. Wolverine and the X-Men one was huge. I always thought he was really cool when I first got into the game. The House of X ones are really neat. The Con LE one was fantastic.
Yeah, that one was cool.
And then even the Fast Forces one was really cool. So
yeah,
Forge has always been solid.
Yeah, the only thing I would probably caution people on at this point is, like, don't get super excited about that apocalypse, because if Thor's chariot is any sort of hint, because that apocalypse was only like 1 point value, right? Like 500 or something crazy.
I think he was 2.
He was just one.
Yeah, so like he was never playable in a 300-point tournament. So that means if they tried to force a dial on there, like I could see them saying like mid dial he's 300, but then he's still only going to have like 10 attack. Like they'd have to do some crazy things, and I don't know if they do that.
I think they did. They've done. There have been a lot of good and bad from legacy cards. So I'm still hopeful.
Yeah, to me, this just screams like a Mighty Chariot scenario, where it's like a special limited edition super booster.
Oh, it could be a Thor and Loki scenario. That figure was awesome.
Or a Thanos scenario.
Thanos.
Well, Thanos only had that one value, though.
Well, so is this.
Well, I'm just saying, they did a lot of crazy things on his card.
I mean, if they made his 500 point to 300, it was like, here you go, play this whole dial at 300, then maybe.
Wait, I'm seeing 2 apocalypses.
It's
was it G03 or G07?
It's 03.
Yeah, 500 point one. If they turn this whole 500 point and say it's 300, then I'm game.
Oh,
Right.
they might. I think that this has a lot of potential. There's a lot of special powers that they can work with.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm tempering expectations because I had expectations for the Chariot. And that did not turn out well at all. So
Man.
That might be the worst legacy card.
So
no, don't say that.
Meccano, Jason, Jack, Giordano,
Mockingbird.
So Exosword stuff. Mockingbird is Mockingbird is not the worst. Mockingbird is potentially super good.
That's
a lie. There's no potentially.
Aren't you playing Mockingbird?
No, that was on the Avengers one. No,
Okay.
she's bad. She's very bad.
All right.
You know what? If anybody would like to know why Mockingbird is good, please message PJ Bolin.
Sign up for our Patreon.
No, I'm not gonna do any of that. I'm just gonna
special Mockingbird lessons with.
Right. So I would say a Spider-Man family folk. How would we feel if we played against 20 Marvellas with a Miss Minutes?
20 more. Oh, okay.
We just lose turn 2 every game. That would feel really bad, right?
You can't fit 20, right?
Yeah. No, sorry, you don't do 20 because you do 10, so it's 150 points plus Miss Minutes.
Sure.
Because you get 10 the first turn and you get
20
the second turn. So
it sounds to me like my Marvella is just going to be burying herself up every single turn that she can.
You don't have to target the opposing character. You target any character.
No, that's not true.
No, you have to choose Marvella.
You have to target an opposing character, but it counts all characters.
Oh, okay. Free choose an opposing character within range of
line of fire, and you get a mission point if that's the name as the chosen character. So as long as Marvella just somehow keeps burying herself in.
Well, she doesn't ignore characters, right? So you could just surround her with characters. Nah, that's not so bad, but it still would feel bad.
It'd be hilarious. I'd probably take that loss.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, okay, you win. I mean, I
get it.
Good job.
You spent $150 on Marvellas. Congratulations. So Paul Cote and Jack Smith both say Muramasa Blade is dangerous to Thanos. Yeah. Muramasa. What did I say?
Mura or something like that.
Muramasa. So yeah. I don't know what answer. I don't know what answer they really want from me.
Do you think it will be played, and if so, how much?
So there's an increasing number of answers to Thanos.
Okay.
And this adds to them, and it's really scary to keep wanting to play him now and after Swords is released.
I don't think it's like... it's not specifically good against Thanos. I think it's just good against... If it's good against Thanos, it's good against everything.
That's correct.
Or most things.
That's correct.
I think it'll see the most play, funny enough, on like a Charge Flash.
I said I liked it on Charge Flash. It's 10 points, though.
But 10 points, and then you load everyone up for the follow-up. The problem is that it relies on a close attack that hits.
Yeah.
And so for me, and you also have to roll a 1 or 3. So it's not a guarantee. You could roll a 5 or 6, which is great in a lot of instances, but also bad in a lot of instances because you roll an impervious hit. So
I think you want it on. You definitely want to use it on somebody with a high base damage, because then if you roll a 1, you're still doing, 3 damage. Maybe this is the Juggernaut enabler, right? Minimum 4 damage blades rolls, ignores everything.
Make it happen.
Could be.
If they can finally get you to play your figure.
Could be.
I agree.
I'll play the Danger Room one. That'll be fine. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Right, because you have absolutely no idea what it does, so... Questions. Make sure I don't want to miss anybody. Brad Broyles wants to know... Should he buy 2 cases of Ten of Swords? I have no idea. I can't make that determination quite yet.
Yeah.
I'm done playing Booster Roulette outside of release and Team Sealed.
Really? Well, this one's like, you have the OP version too, so you're going to get some of that. Trying to think, what's like the big exciting things? I hope the chases are better than Saturnine. Right?
She's good though.
I disagree with you.
I disagree with you too. So, all right. All right, we are reaching our 2 hour mark. I think we got everybody. Brad, Jacob, Richard, Brad, Jack, Richard, Paul.
I think you're just saying the same thing over and over.
No, I am. They asked multiple questions. Dylan, Disney. So, do X-Swap lock themselves at 4 pieces for the new Deadpool? No.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. It's all swappy stuff, right? So, I don't think so. And then Giordano, Jack, and McConnell. So we got everybody. So, final thoughts, Lewis. Thanks for being on, and good luck this weekend.
Thanks for the invite. Appreciate it. Hopefully I do well, and hopefully I'll be back here again sometime in the future.
Yeah, and I would say, apologies we didn't do like the full interview with you, but like we can blame Scott Porter for that because he KO'd Mr. Chomps. So, like our standard interview process is like still being recuperated. So I don't really have one without being able to ask the Mr. Chomps question. So,
Okay.
Jason, final thoughts.
Buy your HeroClix now. Stuff's getting expensive. Like Scarlet Witch sold for $210.50 tonight.
Sheesh.
Alex.
I don't know. Just keep at it for Nats. Still got not that much time, but also lots of time. So
When it's right at the end of July, beginning of August, right?
Right.
beginning of August.
We are currently 6 weeks out.
Okay. Cool.
And what, Tyler? You're up next, bud.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to see the results from this weekend. It's going to be like the first big results, the first big tournament after Disney Plus, right?
Yes.
Nope.
You say nope?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
He was saying yeah. We've had a couple of Brad events, but
right. Yeah. So I'm excited to see what people think is good and play. It'll be cool, and I am still excited for tarot cards.
Yep. I think that's a good. No, I think it's 6 weeks out. My final thoughts is down 2 pounds. Still doing 10,000 plus steps. The tractor show this weekend
Helped.
Really, it did, and it really put me to the test because it's on an outdoor hillside, and it's got like a loop where you like walk through and kind of look at everything from the vendors to the show people. So I pushed myself to the limit, and I felt it the next day. So I'm feeling good that helped brought up my strength. One little bit at a time. So thanks everybody for listening to Clixed Off today, and we'll talk to y'all next time.
See ya.
Later.